Welcome back to my tutorial class. I would like to show us the fastest way to cut a peplum boot too. With this measurement, the bust is 34, under bust 29, waist 27, while the length is 15. Then the breast size is 6.5 and the under breast. So now, using this measurement, we have to make it this way. I am using this one as my front side, and I'm going to use this part as my back part. So I'm going to draw a straight line. Then I'm going to use the segment just to know the size of the breast, which is 6.5. Then my waist is 9.5. So I'm just going to divide this into two, which is this. Then I'm going to draw a straight line. So this size here is my breast part, while this part is the waist. So on this point here, I'm going to measure my bust, which is 34, and my 34 is 8.5. Then I'm going to divide it into two. So here, which is the under bust, which is 29, which is 7.25. Then I'm going to divide it as well into two. Then the waist, which is 27, which is 6.75. Then I'm going to divide it as well into two. So I'm going to measure this part here, which is 4.25 here. So I'm going to draw a straight line from here to here. Then I'm going to make this part a straight line as well. So now we are having this distance between here and here. We have to measure it and put it at the other side, which gives us this. Then the distance we are having from this point to this point, we put it the other side too. So now we are going to draw a straight line from here to here, from here to here. Then we make a curve like this. Then we can measure 1 inch this side and 1 inch on this side. So that is where our top bust will be. So there's another thing I do again. For our bust to be able to sit properly, I normally had 1/4 inches on both sides again, which comes this way. So now, then whatever we are cutting out here, we have to add it to this end here. So what we are cutting out from here now, which is 2.25, we add it to this end. What we are cutting out here, which is 2 inches, then we put it here as well. Then our sewing allowance, which is 1/2 inches on all the sides here, we have to add it to this. Then we now have to add 1.5 inches for our side allowance. So we can just draw a straight line this way. Then here we can just measure 2 inches here. Then we can use our free hand. Then here, it depends on how we want our cleavage to show. That will give us the curve to the level we want our cleavage to show up to. So I think this length is okay. So the next thing we have to do is our back, and we only had from this point, you can see we already cut our front, and this is our back. We leave this distance for this is our zip allowance. We just make this part from this end maybe 3/4 inches, and here we'll make it 1 inch. So this will go up to here and comes up. Then this is our waist part at the back. The next thing we have to do is to mark how low we want our back to be. So I prefer my back to be this point. So on this point here, we are going to mark, that is where we are going to make our back. That is how we are going to make our bag at the back. So now we just have to trim the front this way. We trim the front and the back together. Then, so we are able to cut the front and the back together. Then we trim this part. Then you can now do it this way. You can see this point which we have here for our zip allowance. Then we mark it. Then we can easily mark it this way and cut this part out. Then after cutting it out, the thing we have to do here is not to cut this part first. We have to cut this point first because of our back. So we just trim it this way, and same thing this part. So then we can trim this part here. Then we can mark where our zip will be. This portion here, just to indicate where our zip will be. We just cut it out just to indicate. So while we are cutting our clothes, on our clothes, we can be able to indicate that this part is our bag. So we just take out this part, and we have to trim out this curve here. We have to trim it out. Then we trim it out. Then this is our back. Another thing I do at the back is, you remember that we had 1/4 inches on this part, which we have to trim out now. So this part now, this is our front part. Then this back here, we have to take out that 1/2 inches, which is 1/4 inches, which we are adding, which we had on this portion here. We have to take it out. That 1/4 inches, we have to take it out just to trim it out. So as you can see, this is our back part and this is our front part for the book too. Now we have to cut the peplum part. Welcome back to my tutorial class. Now it's time to cut our peplum part. So because this is our topper part and we have to cut the peplum part. Now we have to do a little calculation first before we cut this part. Our length is 15, and what we already cut from 15 is, let's check. This is our 15. These are 15. We are having 5.5 inches left. 1 inch which we have to sew to hit, which is 6.5. Then this 6.5 now is what we have to cut for our peplum, and also we have to add another 1/2 inches for the folding at the end of this flare part. So what we have to do now, we know that we have to cut 7 inches. Must be the length for this lower part, so that we can end up arriving at 15 inches for our peplum. So the thing we have to do now is, so we are having 7 inches length for the peplum. The next thing we have to consider is the waist, which is 27. So after we finish joining the upper part, our waist must be 27, and we must still add another zip allowance, which is giving us 1 inches on the side, which gives us 2 inches. So plus 2 inches, so which makes it to be 29 inches. So now, this 29 inches, we have to divide it with pi, which is 3.14. If we have to cut one flare for the whole thing, so which is going to make the circumference 9.235. So let's say it's 9.2 inches. So now, because we want to cut one full flare for the peplum, we just need to fold our material this way, and we mark 9.2, this point here. So we just mark So now we just need to cross check, because if we divide it into 2, it's supposed to give us 14 inches. Because we have to sew it this way, then it will arrive on 14¼ inches if we do it this way. So, and this was already give us 29 inches. So now we have to measure our 7 inches which we need. Here we mark 7 inches. But I would prefer we do it this way. We just mark 7 inches here. Then we come to this place and we start marking it up to here. So then we can trim it out. So with what you have here, so if you have to cut it on the material, we shouldn't care about this part. We can just place it like this. Then it will give us this remaining part on the material. So now this is our peplum top, and I believe we all enjoyed this video. So this is our peplum, and I believe we all enjoyed this video, and I want to employ us to keep practicing, and I would like us to send me a picture or a short clips on what you've learned or what you were able to do with this tutorial. Thank you.